What's up, folks? It's your boy NOY-Z, and today I'm coming to you guys with a rant video. It's something that I never really wanted to do on this channel, but I felt like I have to because something happened to me today that I just can't ignore. And this is a video that's long time coming, years in the making, honestly, and quite frankly, I am fed up. Today, I want to discuss with you about how toxic black radio is. Like I said in the intro, this is a video that has been years in the making. Let me explain. I don't know if you guys know this, but my background is in audio engineering. I went to school for this. This is what I have degrees in. I have certifications and all that. You don't really need to know all of that to understand this. But I record music. I do live. I do theater. I do all this other type stuff. Shortly after graduation from college, I was working on, I had a record label. I was recording music. I was, producing stuff, whatever you want to call it. I was working on an album for a young lady. I was co-producing the album in my studio with a young woman who was putting out an R&B album. Well, one day we were getting set up for the studio session. This is maybe about 5-6 years ago. I don't remember exactly. But as we're getting set up, she begins to, just out of the blue, she says, "I want somebody to buy me flowers." So me and the other guy who was co-producing the album, we kind of just stopped and like, what do you mean you want somebody to buy you flowers? She says, on her way to the studio, she was listening to the radio, and there was a song that came on, which we now know was Bruno Mars. She says, "I was listening to the white radio station, and there was this song about how this guy should have bought this girl flowers." And she was like, "I thought that was really nice." But then when I turned to the black radio station, I'm being called all types of bitches and hoes. She said, "I want somebody to buy me flowers." I said, wow, I never really thought about it like that. But I hadn't really thought too much about it since then, right? But as I go on and I study radio independently, some of you guys know me from Beatwave Radio. Some of you guys know that I did that. And really started paying attention to how to make a successful radio station, all this. I started studying what the radio stations do. Now, one thing that's very important about radio station is demographics, right? You have to know who your audience is. But then I start to question, who do they think their audience is when it comes to black people? Corporate radio, more specifically, is who I'm talking about. I had an incident that happened today on my job. If y'all don't know, I now work in radio. After so many years of trying, I do actually work for a radio company. And I was pushed to the brink today. And I'm going to talk about that in just a moment, but I want to talk about what led up to that. As I'm studying radio, before I actually worked for a radio company, I started to notice how, one, not only is the music that they play for black people on those radio stations toxic, and you guys have to understand, I grew up in the 80s and 90s, and I'm used to, I had become accustomed to hearing, sure, there was some, gangster rap or whatever out there. But there was one point in time where I could hear Tupac right next to Jay-Z. I can hear Jay-Z right next to Kurt Franklin, a gospel artist, Mary Mary. I can hear DMX. I could hear all these people. I could hear Lauryn Hill. So there was overall this variety of, you know, like gangster rap, conscious rap, R&B, gospel, all on one station. Right? I didn't have to flip channels to find, okay, I got to go to the R&B station. I got to go to this station, whatever, to find what I wanted. Now everything is sex, drugs, rock and roll. And I feel like they have been droning the same non-productive, counterproductive, toxic messaging on black radio. Now, I'm not saying that there's not a place for that. Trust me. Yes. I mean, I get it. It's entertainment, you know, to, you know, paraphrase something Tupac has said. I was like, because Tupac didn't like to be called a gangster rapper, right? He was like, you don't call Al Pacino and all them guys gangster actors, you know? So I'm like, this is entertainment. Like, I'm a rapper, but he didn't like to be, you know, put into the box of a gangster rapper if you're not going to do that same thing to artists, right? So, or excuse me, to actors. So I'm like, you know what? Pac makes a good point about that. But even back then in those days, you could hear this whole variety. There is a place for that, you know, gangster rap. And there's a place for the stuff that's on the radio now. But it is the consistent messaging over and over. But believe it or not, that is not my problem. OK, my problem is more in the advertising. Like I said, I do now work in radio, and my position deals with ads, advertisements. You know, it's not ultimately where I hope to end up on radio. But, you know, this has been a starting place for me, somebody who has been trying for so long to get into the industry. And now that I'm here, I work in advertisements. And the one thing that I noticed even before I got into this position was that the way black people are advertised to on the radio is very destructive. Okay. And it makes me so mad. It makes me so mad. It makes me so mad that all the commercials that I hear when it comes to black radio is come down to the club, or come get you some new rims and a new sound system for your car. And I can say this now that I work in radio and my job is literally to monitor and listen to advertisements. I know that this isn't the same way that the advertisements work on white radio or conservative radio or whatever else you want to call it. You know, I hear, like, I listen to these commercials all day long and I hear, you know, this is how you plan for retirement. You know, hey, call us up. We're going to be doing this show about, you know, how to save up money, how, you know, how to invest your stocks, how to take care of your home. If you got that project around your house, you know, this is something, you know, you should try. Plant your gardens, blah, blah, blah. So this is the type of the stuff that I hear on white radio or conservative radio or whatever else. But on our radio stations, come down to the club, free drinks. This person's going to be in the club. Come down, get you some new rims, get you a new sound system. But my biggest issue are those commercials that tell you to come on down and get you a payday loan. Get you this payday loan, right? You're already poor. Please, for the love of God, I don't care how broke you are. I don't care. I don't care if the rent is due, if the baby need formula. Please, 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 I'm begging you, never get one of these things. It's only going to dig you deeper in the hole. It makes no sense for you to go take out a loan from a payday lending company, and then they charge you 400 or 500%. A credit card don't even charge you that much. And credit cards have a reputation for being predatory. You know, with a credit card, you might be talking about 20%, 30%, which is high. But 400-500%, we're talking about 3-4 times whatever the amount of money you borrow. How are you going to get yourself out of that hole? And why are these commercials almost always exclusively being played on black radio? Is that always true? No. But you don't hear those other commercials that I was talking about how to save up for retirement and all this stuff. You know, home improvement projects, all that stuff that's going to build your life and make you better. You don't hear that on urban radio. Urban radio, because we know what urban means, right? You don't hear that type of stuff. The other thing that really irritates me, and I don't know if this irritates me more than the predatory lending commercials. This is a message for the people out there who are in marketing, corporate radio executives, all you people. Please understand something. We are people just like you are. Talk to us like normal people. Please talk to us like normal people. If you want to sell a product to us, just say, hey, we got this product. We want to sell it to you, just like you do on any other station. But you don't do that with us. And I'm getting so sick and tired of hearing every single car commercial, every single attorney slip and fall in the store, whatever it might happen to be, that y'all want to advertise to us. Stop putting that shit in rap songs. You don't have to rap to us. You don't. Talk to us like normal people. Every single commercial that comes on black radio has to be put in the form of a rap song. Why? Talk to us like normal people. You know, talk to us like you talk to them. You know, bamboozle us the same way you bamboozle them. You know, we're smart enough to understand what you're saying without having it put in a rap song. Or we're not smart enough to be bamboozled like everybody else. And I say this because I worked in sales for quite a bit, and I understand how salesmen work, sales games work, right? They use all types of slick language to fool you into buying a product. That's how it works, right? But talk to us the way you talk to them, whether you're getting over on us or if you're actually trying to offer us a good deal, but treat us the same way you do them. And you don't put every single song, every single commercial in a rap song. Like, we're not going to understand what it is that you're selling us unless you know it's a rap song. Which brings me to my complaint today. Okay. It brings me to what happened today that left me so pissed off. Pissed beyond belief. Like I said, I work in advertisements. Every once and again, I get asked to do a tag on a commercial. And if you don't know what a tag is on a commercial, it's basically like the disclaimer or whatever that comes at the end of the commercial. Like, if you ever, like, next time you listen to a commercial, listen to, you know, you have like the announcer come on out to the, you know, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, whatever it is. And, you know, and then at the end of that commercial, it will have a secondary person's voice. Okay. Ba-da-da-da. And this is not to pick on Jeep, Dodge, Ram. I only said them because I used to sell cars for them. This had nothing to do with them. Okay. So I don't want anybody to think it had anything to do with them. It was just, I have experience with them, but, you know, solid company, Chrysler, whatever. Okay. But basically the tag is like this, like you will hear the announcer and then you will hear a second voice, usually different from the announcer, on the back end of those commercials, right? You'll hear the disclaimer, or you'll hear it say, participation only at these stores. It's usually a different voice than the one that you heard. Now, next time you hear an advertisement, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's called a tag. I get asked to do these tags, you know, ever so often because I am, quite frankly, the only urban person, the only chip in the cookie on the team. I don't mind that so much. I know sometimes I'm being used as the token or whatever, but I don't mind that so much because it does actually, I get to put that stuff in my portfolio, and I do hope to actually be on air at some point in time. So, you know, those things, you know, I don't like being a token, but I do like, you know, that I am able to have a black voice on, you know, commercials. I understand there is a need to have familiarity on your, you know, your products. You know, you want to put the black baby on the black Pampers packaging. I get that. So I understand why you want to have that black voice. I get that. So the story goes today, I get called into the studio to record a tag for a car dealership. And it was not the one that I mentioned earlier. It was not. And when I walk into the studio, he's playing, I'm not going to say any names, but he's playing the spot. He plays the spot for me so I can hear it, right? And of course, there's a rap song, right? This car company, car dealership decided to go towards the route of having a rap song on the commercial. All things considered, I actually didn't hate the rap. Usually I hate the raps, but I was like, all right, trying to find the silver lining in this whole thing. I was like, all right, you know, I dig the rap, you know, it's cool, whatever. I wish it wasn't a rap, but hey, I'm trying to find some level of positivity in this. At least the rap was pretty good, you know. All right, cool. So he opens up the script that I am to read. And I see the script. And the script was basically like $250 down, $250 a month, you know, at this dealership, you know, tax title and blah, da, 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 disclaimer. So basically I'm reading the disclaimer, right? Y'all, when I say I looked at the script, it literally said $250, F-I-D-D-Y, 50. I'm like, oh boy. I'm already irritated that this commercial is a commercial where we're doing this through a rap song. But then I see the script and it says $250. So my first instinct was, I'm not reading this. I can't do this. But then I thought to myself, I can't help to fight this. I can't change the system, which is basically, this goes right along with the line with systematic racism. I'm like, I can't fight this if I am not inside the building, you know? So I said, I'm going to do it. But I made the decision that I was going to read this 50. I was going to talk like a normal person, not 50, but 50, like a normal English speaking person. And it's not that I hold anything against anybody who actually pronounces the word 50, because there are plenty of us, black people, and people really of all races and cultures that actually pronounce 50 as 50. I get it. We got a whole damn rapper that calls himself 50 and not 50, right? I get it. The problem that I had was that it was written in the script like that. It was written in the script 50. I looked at that and I said, okay. I stepped behind the microphone and I read this, you know, $250 down, $250 a month, 50. And I kept doing it, right? Because, you know, unfortunately, I'm not at the position where I can do this in just one take, right? So I do it, you know, several times, and I say 50, 50, 50. And then the guy who calls me into the studio looks over my shoulder. He points to the screen. He says, okay, but it says 50. It says 50. I look up at him. I'm sitting there in the chair at the desk, and I look up at him and I say, nah, I can't do that. I'm like, I cannot read that like that. He looks over at me and he says, you can't read that. I said, nah, nah, I can't read that like that. And then he says, you can't read it or you won't read it. I won't. Am I physically capable of it? Mostly, yeah. Although I felt like my mouth, my brain, my body, my soul would not let me. But yes, I am physically capable of reading it. But I won't. I'm sorry, I don't know what you want me to do. I'm not doing that though. I'm not going to do that. So finally he's like, okay. After staring daggers in me, that after what seemed like an eternity, he's like, okay, all right. Do it how you want to do it. And I did it. I wanted to do it. And I read that thing, $250 a month. You're still going to get my blackness. You're still going to get my urban. You're still going to get that sound that you're looking for. I don't know. I don't know if I would consider my voice street or hood or whatever, but you're getting your black voice. You're getting what you wanted. But I'm going to come at you with the same educated voice that I use every single day. I'm going to use the same voice that went to college, has a degree, paid a lot of money for it, got into a lot of debt for that. And I didn't do all of that to come in here for you to to downplay my intelligence and for me to downplay the intelligence of urban radio listeners. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. There's a good chance that commercial, that spot, as we call them, spots, it's a good chance they won't be used because I didn't read it the way they wanted to. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. But I couldn't do it. Talk to us like we're human beings. We're people. You don't even have to use a black voice. We're so indoctrinated into the majority culture that hearing a white voice on a commercial on a black radio station is not going to set anybody off. We're so used to that. We are submerged in that culture. We know that culture. But I wonder, would you want this voice saying 50 on your radio stations? How would you feel? We can take it. We can take how you talk on our stations. But if I said 50 on your station, right? How would you feel? I can say 50. I can say 4, not 4. I can do that. If I need to say those things, I can. If I need to say it like that, I can. But what justification is there here? Anyway, y'all, that is my rant. I hope y'all share this. I hope I didn't waste y'all time. And like I said, these aren't the type of videos that I typically do on here. I usually like my YouTube channel to be fun and light, but I have plenty of this. I've got plenty of videos like this in me. I just don't do it. And if you want me to address more serious topics like this on this channel, I definitely can. Just gotta let me know in the comments. If you say, nah, NOY-Z, we don't like that, just stick with the vlogs. Stick with showing us your workouts and how you know, your gynecomastia surgery and all of that. You know what I'm saying? Talk more about that, which I will. You know, talk about your travels. I'll do that. But if this is what y'all want me to talk about, at least every once and again, let me know. Drop it down in the comments. Anyway, I'm out of here. This video is longer than I had hoped it would be, but it is what it is. I'm not backing out of it. You're getting what you're getting, all right? And as always, love, peace, hair grease. You're beautiful, baby. Let's go.